Cerebral venous sinus thrombosis is a rare form of stroke. This is a venous stroke in contrast to an arterial stroke. This is associated with increased mortality rate because ICP, increase in intracranial pressure, can occur. It can have different signs and symptoms, so distinguishing it from other conditions is very important to institute appropriate treatment. You have to recognize the condition early and institute treatment earlier to reduce the morbidity as well as the mortality. So let us look at what are the venous sinuses. This is, you can see in the surface of the brain, these dark blue ones are the venous sinuses. This is the sagittal sinus and the transverse sinus, and you can see the blue structures which are the veins which drain into the sinuses. And here you find there are numerous connections between these cortical veins and the sinuses. Neither the veins nor the sinuses have any valves and no tunica muscularis. So, this absence of valves will permit the direction of blood flow in both the directions. And so, the veins also remain dilated because there is no tunica muscularis. So, this helps in facilitating the thrombus, but also allow opening up of the collaterals draining vessels in the event if there is an occlusion, because it can flow in both the directions, it can also open up. So, it is very important to remember that. And you will see there is two different systems of venous sinuses. One is a superficial system and the other one is a deep system. Superficial system is one which is a sagittal sinus thrombus. As you can see, this is the surface of the brain, and cortical veins will drain into these systems. And deeper systems will be the lateral sinuses, the straight sinus, sigmoid sinus, and also the deep cortical veins which are present, which will drain the deeper parts of the brain. Another way of classifying the sinuses will be the paired and the unpaired. You can have the paired sinuses will be the transverse sinus, sigmoid sinus, cavernous sinus, inferior petrosal and superior petrosal sinuses of some of the important paired sinuses. Unpaired sinuses will be the superior sagittal sinus. We will see all that next. Inferior sagittal sinus, straight sinus, occipital sinus, anterior posterior intercavernous sinus, and basilar venous plexus. So, you can see this is the superior sagittal sinus, which is an unpaired sinus. Then vein of Tollard will be there, then this is the vein of Galen, then internal cerebral veins will be there. This is a straight sinus which goes from here. This is the confluence of the sinuses, and this is the the straight sinus, and this is transverse sinus, and this is the sigmoid sinus which goes into the internal jugular veins. Lateral view, you will see the superior sagittal sinus, the straight sinus, this transverse sinus going into the sigmoid sinus, going into the internal jugular vein, and the cavernous sinus on two sides, and this is the greater cerebral vein of Galen. Very important to understand this anatomy because it's superior sagittal sinus which is very easily thrombosed and can produce problems, especially in younger women, especially during hormonal treatment and pregnancy, puerperia. Earlier, we never used to diagnose the CVT much because of lack of diagnostic facilities, especially when I was a student. Now, we have advances in imaging techniques which will help us in detection these cases very early and institute appropriate management. Nowadays, we see this as an increased instance in children, younger adults, females of reproductive age group, and especially in lower income countries where there can be infections in the facial sinuses which can later on spread to the intracranial sinuses. And females are affected much more than men in a ratio of 3:1, and this forms 0.5 to 1% of all the strokes, arterial and venous put together. You can have three types of presentation. It can be an acute cortical venous sinus thrombosis which occurs less than 48 hours, subacute when it is 48 hours to 30 days, and chronic is more than a month. Depending on the condition which precipitates this cause, it can be acute, subacute or chronic. So, why does this occur? Because there is a stasis and this associated vessel wall injury and a hypercoagulability. All these together produce a situation where thrombosis can occur. What happens normally is these cortical veins drain into the venous sinuses in the brain, which goes into the internal jugular vein, goes into the superior vena cava, into the heart. If there is blockage of the sinuses or thrombus here, then flow to the heart is interrupted. There is a backflow which increases the venous pressure, and there is congestion and engorgement of the veins and the surrounding brain tissue which can produce edema, hemorrhage or infarcts. That is why early treatment is very essential.